Have you ever wondered why a child might suddenly start rejecting a parent they once loved, especially after a difficult separation or divorce? It's a heartbreaking situation, and if you're a parent going through this, you might be blaming yourself, feeling lost, and wondering what you did wrong. But what if I told you that in many cases, this rejection isn't about you or a lack of love? What if it's a child's survival instinct kicking in? Today, we're going to explore the painful world of parental alienation and uncover why children sometimes push a parent away as a way to cope in a chaotic world. Understanding this is the first step toward healing and reconnection. So, what exactly is parental alienation? It's a process where one parent, consciously or unconsciously, manipulates a child's feelings, turning them against the other parent. This isn't just about a child preferring one parent over the other for a little while. This is a consistent pattern of behavior that causes deep emotional and psychological harm to both the child and the parent being rejected, often called the targeted parent. Research paints a stark picture. Studies have found that around 20% of children involved in high-conflict divorces experience severe levels of alienation. It's a serious issue that fractures families and leaves lasting scars. The child is caught in the middle of a conflict they didn't create, and the targeted parent is left grieving a relationship that's being systematically destroyed. Now, for the crucial question, why does a child go along with this? Why would they reject a parent they love? The answer is surprisingly simple and deeply primal. It's a survival response. When a child's world is turned upside down by parental conflict, their primary need is to feel safe. In that chaotic environment, they instinctively cling to whatever feels like the most stable or powerful force in their lives. Often, that's the parent who is exerting the most influence or control, the alienating parent. Up to an astonishing 80% of children in these situations report feeling pressured to choose sides. It's like being on a playground and seeing two teams forming. You're going to join the one you think will protect you. For a child, rejecting the other parent isn't a reflection of their true feelings. It is an instinctual decision to align with what feels like the safer team to survive the emotional storm. This leads to immense emotional confusion and loyalty conflicts for the child. Deep down, most kids love both of their parents and want a relationship with each of them. But when one parent subtly or overtly pressures them, they feel trapped. Being loyal to the influencing parent often means betraying the targeted parent. This creates an unbearable cocktail of guilt, fear, and anxiety. To reduce this internal stress, the child might find it easier to just shut down their feelings for the targeted parent. It's a coping mechanism. By siding completely with one parent, they eliminate the daily conflict they feel. So when you see a child rejecting a parent, remember that it's often a desperate attempt to find emotional peace, not a genuine statement of their love or lack thereof. This rejection is a deeply misunderstood coping strategy. It's not a conscious, malicious choice. Children often act this way subconsciously. They might fear losing the approval, or even the love of the parent they live with most of the time, the parent who is subtly poisoning their mind. To secure that relationship, they might act out against the other parent. It's a performance designed to keep the peace in their immediate environment. This behavior is a mask. It hides the child's true pain, confusion, and longing for a simple, loving relationship with both parents. They are not rejecting a parent. They are rejecting the unbearable pain of being caught in the middle. For the targeted parents, this experience is devastating. Many suffer from intense emotional distress, profound grief, anxiety, and deep-seated depression. They question everything they did as a parent and often blame themselves. It's no surprise that studies show nearly 40% of targeted parents exhibit symptoms of depression directly linked to the alienation. If you are a parent in this situation, it is absolutely crucial to understand this. Your child's rejection is not proof of your failure as a parent. It is not a reflection of the love you gave them. It is a symptom of a dysfunctional family dynamic that your child is trying to navigate. Letting go of that self-blame is one of the most important steps you can take for your own mental health. Because of this intense emotional toll on everyone involved, getting support is not just helpful, it's essential. Therapy can provide a safe space for children to untangle their confusing emotions without fear of judgment or disappointing either parent. For targeted parents, therapy can help process the immense grief and confusion that comes with being rejected. It can feel like mourning a child who is still alive. Peer support groups are also incredibly valuable. Connecting with other parents who understand exactly what you are going through can reduce the profound sense of isolation and provide practical strategies for coping. And whenever possible, creating opportunities for open, calm communication between the child and the targeted parent can slowly start to rebuild the bridge of trust. So, what can targeted parents do to reconnect? The key is consistency and patience. First, maintain consistent, non-demanding communication. Even if they don't respond, send letters, simple texts, or even recorded messages. These are not about forcing a conversation. They are about leaving a trail of breadcrumbs that says, "I'm still here and I still love you." This provides tangible proof of your steady, unwavering love. Second, practice unconditional love. Reassure them with simple affirmations like, "No matter what, I love you and I'm always here for you." This helps rebuild their sense of emotional safety. Third, try to connect over shared interests, even from a distance. Talk about a favorite movie, a sport you both love, or a hobby you once shared. This creates positive, low-pressure interactions that foster familiarity. And finally, when you do get a chance to connect, create a safe emotional space. Let them talk without pressure or guilt and listen more than you speak. It can also be helpful to understand the alienating parent, not to excuse their behavior, but to comprehend the dynamic. Often, their actions stem from their own unresolved emotional wounds, insecurities, or a desperate need for control. They may genuinely believe they are protecting the child, but in reality, their behavior is rooted in their own needs, not the child's. They may be afraid of being abandoned themselves, so they ensure the child is solely dependent on them. While their motives don't justify the harm they cause, understanding this can help the targeted parent depersonalize the situation and see it as a tragic family system failure rather than a personal attack. What about the legal system? Can it help? In many places, courts are increasingly recognizing parental alienation as a form of child abuse that harms a child's long-term well-being. If alienation can be proven, courts can intervene. This might involve ordering reunification therapy, adjusting custody arrangements, or setting strict communication plans to ensure the targeted parent has access to the child. While legal battles can be long, expensive, and emotionally draining, they can sometimes be a necessary step to protect the child and enforce their right to have a relationship with both parents. Ultimately, moving forward is about healing and reconnection. The most powerful shift in perspective for a targeted parent is recognizing that their child's rejection is often an instinctual survival strategy, not a personal or intentional act of cruelty. This understanding lifts the heavy burden of false guilt and allows the parent to approach the situation with more empathy and less despair. Healing is possible, but it takes time. It grows in an environment filled with stability, empathy, and open communication. With immense patience, professional support, and a steady, unconditional love that weathers the storm, healthier connections can be rebuilt. A child's heart naturally wants to love both parents. The goal is to create a path back to that natural state. If you or someone you know is struggling with this issue, please reach out for professional help. There are therapists who specialize in family dynamics and parental alienation, and there are support groups that can provide community and hope. You are not alone in this. Thank you so much for watching. If this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more content on mental health and relationships, and share it with anyone who might need to hear this message. See you in the next video.